Hi ladies, just wanted to pick up where we left off on the last video. The video recorder cut me a little short, so I have to turn this one into two videos. But what we're now going to do is we're going to bring these pieces together, okay? So our first factor is going to be that common factor that is in parentheses, so that b minus 5. Okay, so what we can do after that is we can cancel those out. And then what we do is we take these other two pieces and put them together as our other factor. So that becomes b squared minus 4. Okay, but we're not quite done because look at this factor here. And what I'm seeing is that that is a difference of two squares, right? So what we have to turn that into is our b plus 2 times b minus 2. Right? But we still have to bring down this factor here, which is b minus 5. Okay, so we actually have three factors to that original equation. So that in factored form is this guy down here. So that would be your final answer for that one. Okay. Okay, and now just to add back one more piece to this. So if you are told to solve the polynomial, okay, so this polynomial here is set equal to 0. The first thing that you want to do is you want to factor that polynomial. All right, so we can start with this one. And what we have is we have x cubed minus 25x. So let's almost kind of ignore that equal to 0 first. And let's look at these two terms. So do we have a greatest common factor of those two terms? And we do. We can take out an x from both of those. So we end up with x times, right, x cubed divided by x just gives us x squared. You just subtract 1x. All right, and then negative 25x divided by x gives us just 25. All right, so what do you notice about what's left in our parentheses? What I see is a difference of two squares. Okay, so we factor that down, right? And we get x plus 5, right? The square root of 25 times x minus 5. All right, so to find out the solutions of each of this original polynomial, what we have to do is we have to look at each of these 1, 2, 3 terms or three factors, sorry about that, and set them each equal to 0 to solve. So the first one's pretty easy. We have x equals 0. So that's already solved for us. Okay, so one of our solutions to this equation is 0. Now we have to set x plus 5 equal to 0. Right, and what would make that equation true? So we subtract 5 from both sides, and what we get is x equals negative 5. And then our last factor to solve for would be x minus 5 equals 0. And what would make that equation true, right? We add 5 to both sides, and we get x equals positive 5. Oh, equals, sorry about that. So x equals 5. So there are three possible solutions to this equation. Let me use my highlighter just to make sure that you know, right? This is one solution. This is a second solution. and this is a third solution. All right, let's try another example where we have to solve. And let's look at this. So again, what we're looking at is we are looking at this guy here. So we're kind of ignoring that equals 0 at first. And I see that there is a greatest common factor in each of these terms, and that common factor is just an x. All right, so let's go ahead and factor that out of each term. So x cubed becomes x squared. Negative 8x squared becomes negative 8x. And plus 16x just becomes plus 16. Okay. So what we want here is so there's no leading coefficient here. So what we want are factors of positive 16 that will add up to negative 8. And the only way to do that would be with two negative factors of 16. So you can think negative 8 and negative 2, but those do not add up to negative 8. So what I'm thinking is negative 4, negative 4. Okay. So when I factor this, what it becomes is x times x minus 4 times x minus 4 or a simpler way to write that would be just x, right? This thing times this thing, which is the same thing. So that would just be x minus 4 squared. Okay. So, right, we're going to take these two pieces, set them equal to 0. First one solves itself, right? X equals 0. The other guy, x minus 4 squared, zero. So the first thing that you want to do is to square root both sides to get rid of that square. And the square root of 0 is 0. So you get x minus 4 equals 0. Then we're going to add 4 to both sides. So x equals 4. Okay. So there are two possible solutions to this original equation here. Highlight it. It would be x equals 0 and x equals 4. All right. So one other way they could possibly, the SAT, could possibly ask you to solve for the zeros or the solutions of an equation would be if you're given a graph. Okay. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take a look at the factored form of this equation. So let's do that. Oh, I don't want my highlighter. I want a pen. And let's say we have x cubed minus 81x. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to take out a greatest common factor, which for this equation is 1x, just an x, right? And that leaves us with, if you take one of the x's away from this, you get x squared minus 81. And what I notice is that 81 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, so this is a difference of two squares. So what I'm left with is x times square root of 81 is 9, so we're going to do x plus 9. And then x minus 9. Okay. So we want to find the x coordinates of the points where the graph crosses the x-axis. So remember, our x-axis right here, the y value at the x-axis, right, because here's our point of origin, the y value at the x-axis is 0, right? So to find the points where a graph crosses the x-axis is what you're looking for, any x values that will make that equation equal to 0. So basically you're just solving like we did in the previous two examples. So our first solution, right, we're using this first factor here. So x equals 0, that one's pretty easy, solves itself. Then we're going to do x plus 9 equals 0. So subtract 9 from both sides and we get x equals -9. All right, and then we have x minus 9 equals 0. So x equals +9. So the three solutions for this equation, right? So the three solutions where this equation would be equal to 0 are x equals 0. So let me get out my handy dandy highlighter. X equals 0, x equals -9, and x equals +9. So let's go back to our graph here, right? So we do have one of our points here at x equals 0 because that crosses the point of origin, which is 0, 0, right? And if you see that this is labeled a -6, what that's telling me is that these are increments of 3. So if you went here, that would be -3, -6, -9. So that's one of our solutions. And then again, +3, +6, +9, right? And there's x equals +9 as another solution. So if you're given the graph and you're asked to find the x coordinates of the points where the graph crosses the x-axis, basically you just set that original equation, this guy here equal to 0, factor it, and solve each of those factors by setting it equal to 0. All right, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions.